Appreciate everybody being here. Just really proud of the effort of our players, and it's difficult to win. San Jose State has done a really good job putting their team together and getting their kids to play hard. Coach Ken does a great job, but I thought our guys started strong today. Really proud of so many of our players, especially of how we played together, offense, defense, and special teams. That was what we've been really pushing for, and a lot of the things that we've been working on really since the end of last season are starting to show up now. And we took a really hard look at our season last year and what we needed to do and win close games in our conference, and running the football, the play action, the nakeds, controlling the ball was all part of that, and we're starting to see that come together now. And Brayden was outstanding for most of the game. I hated the last turnover, but at some point somebody told me he was 16 for 16, and I just thought he was really seeing the field and seeing throws, handling the perimeter throws really well. Putting plays together and stringing plays together. I gave our whole offensive line a game ball. I mean, I can't remember doing that twice in a season in my career, but we had 4 different rushers all average over 5 yards a carry. That means that your offensive line is blocking people, and our tight ends, Vince Brown and Peter Montini, really did a great job today. Really proud of Dom Morris on defense. He really covered the Nash kid well for several snaps when he was in the slot. Jack Howe played extremely well. Kennedy McDowell did a lot of good things as a pass rusher. So really, really proud of the effort of a lot of those kids. We still had a couple turnovers that we just got to get out of our system. The fumble where we gave them 7 points, that's a 14-point turnaround and really important part of the game. And then the late turnover, when we were trying to run the clock out, just got to find a way not to do that. But a lot of positive things. We were way better on third down that I see here, and it's a good win. It's a good conference win. It's a good home win, and we finished the second quarter out with 2 wins, and so we got to move on to the second half of the season now.
Jake, what stands out to you most about this win? Does it have anything to do with the fact that it wasn't easy? You had some trying times that you had to really kind of fight through and overcome.
Yeah, I think this is probably pretty indicative of all of our conference games, of how they're going to be. We're going to play teams that are very similar, that are knowledgeable about us, that are well coached. You're going to have to fight, and you're going to have to do the right things all the way through the end of the game to win. And it takes toughness and discipline and mental toughness and all the things that we work on all year long. We talk a lot about that. The mentality of our football team has got to show now. All the things that we've been working on for so many months has got to show in these moments. And, we got a tough group of guys. We really do. They're mentally tough. They fought through today. And you gotta be willing to sacrifice. We play a sport of sacrifice, and when it's played the right way, you can see it. And so I thought our kids did a lot of that today, and I was proud of them for it.
Is it easier to preach toughness as a mentality with the team when you have your stars really buying into that?
Yeah, it really is, and it's easier when they're healthy too. And I got to say that. I mean, Torrey Horton is one of the toughest guys we got. I mean, he's been in several games where he hasn't been 100%, and you just can't keep him on the bench. I mean, he came back today. Avery Morrill came back today. Jack Howe's been hurt. He came back. I mean, we have a lot of guys that have been banged up. And, people don't like to hear it, but we play a sport that, you got to bleed to win. I mean, there's a lot of guys limping in that locker room and that are sore and tired and beat up, but they they sacrifice for their teammates to win, and that's the most important thing.
How encouraging was it to see Armani Winfield have this type of performance? I think
That
he had
was huge.
4 catches on 3rd down.
I was so proud of him, and that last touchdown was just huge. It was absolutely huge and big for that kid, and for him to have his first 100-yard game today was important. Especially with Torrey's. Torrey's had a hot start, and then he got hurt, and for Armani to pick up the slack in the second half was huge.
Last year, it kind of felt like you guys had someone opposite of Torrey Horton who could go on those big games. Do you feel like Armani's kind of stepping into that number 2 role right behind
Yeah,
Torrey?
I'm really proud of his progress, and Jamari Person, same thing. He's been making plays for us, and we need those guys. Caleb Goody, we need to step up. Jordan Ross has been playing more. Those are talented guys that just have to earn their confidence in games, and we got to keep putting them in those situations so they can learn. And but I think we got some confidence today, and I think it'll help us next week.
It seemed you had more of a balanced approach or a balanced outlook from the start, throwing more on 1st and 2nd down than you have maybe in the past. Is that partially why maybe Brayden found a rhythm quicker?
We're constantly probing for the right mix, and our opponent dictates that too. What we're seeing and what we think we can attack. But and we're mindful. We're playing against good coaches. Odom's a good defense coordinator. We've been playing. He was the first guy I saw walking on the field, and I walked over and I said, I was really hoping you'd get out of this league because I don't want to play against him anymore. But he's a good coach, and they make things hard for you, and they blitzed, and we were playing cat and mouse most of the day. But yeah, it's we need to keep complimenting what we do and keeping people off balance, and Brayden did a good job of that today.
What did it say? Was it mean to have guys, like Winfield, like Dupree, step over? You did have all those injuries. You had some kind of new guys.
No, I told the team. We have a team. We've been working hard to have a team, and we just don't have a few guys that play good. We had a lot of guys play hard today and play well. And the field goal by Jordan Noyes was huge. I was getting ready to punt. The kid said he could make it, and and the first time he lined up, he kicked the practice one. He kicked right through, and so he's got a lot of confidence. And I was really proud that he made that kick. And and some kids, when you're around them long enough, you really trust them if they have conviction, and he did. And I'm glad I trusted him.
How rare is that for you as a coach in your career? You don't see a lot of college kickers dropping a 58-yarder at that stage of the game.
I haven't had many that far. But Jordan, he kicked a long one. I'm not sure how far it was against UNLV last year. He had a huge kick in the snow last year against Air Force, which was really difficult. So he's made some tough kicks, and I have a lot of confidence in him.
You had obviously the bad end of the first half with the fumble. How big was it for the defense to come back and get stopped to start the third quarter to
Big.
make sure it didn't slide?
We talk about having an explosion in the first and third quarters. We want to come out fast and hot. We did a good job on offense coming out today on the first drive. But the first drive in the third quarter when our defense stopped was really big.
What did you like about? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. What do you like about Morrow's game today after bounce back from the fumble and that injury?
His toughness. I just told him it takes a lot to break him, and he's been through a lot. And he came off the injury, had the fumble. The fumble kind of took the wind out of everybody's sails, and I could feel it. And I just reminded him that we talked about this before the game, that we have to handle adversity. And when it strikes, we have to be strong enough to push through. And we want to be a team that doesn't look at the scoreboard. We just want to play plays and continue to play hard and not worry about the outcome. And if we do that, good things got a chance to happen to us. So that was a great example of that today.
What
is Torrey's injury?
I'm sorry?
Torrey's injury, what actually is
He got his knee banged up, and so they're taking a look at him. He's got to get an MRI, and so hopefully it won't be too sore on him, and he'll be able to come back.
What does it tell you about your defense? They didn't do it the easy way. You have no sacks. You didn't get the turnover till late, yet you only gave 17 points to that offense.
No, it's a good job by our defense, and I felt this at the beginning of the year. We don't have a guy like Mo Camara, and so it's got to be by committee. And we got to have disciplined, relentless pass rush. We may not get the sacks that we got, but we got to get pressure, and we got to make it hard for the quarterbacks. And so, we're continuing to do that. We're getting different mixes of people in there. The guys are maturing every week, and and it's got to be a combination of good pass rush and coverage. And as long as we can keep the points down and we can score, we got a chance to win every week.
Monday it was said that this wasn't exactly a new season, but the start of conference was kind of like a refresher.
It's a new beginning.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's an important part because we play all year for the conference games, and we were the last team to play a conference game, so it was important for us to start off strong. And now we're 6 games in. It's crazy how fast the season's going, but we have to grow and build on our performance. And I told our guys we got to be like lions. I mean, we gotta come out on Saturday and we gotta hunt, and we gotta play with great effort, and then we gotta get refreshed during the week, and then when it's game time again, we gotta go hunt, and that's just the way it's gotta be. And that mentality has got to live in us, and we'll get another big challenge next week.
Do you have any update on Newer Gatkuth or Justin Marshall?
Yeah, Newer had a little setback on that foot injury that he had, and he couldn't really practice this week. So it's one of those nagging ligament deals in your foot. And who was the other one?
Justin Marshall looked like we
Yeah,
saw
I
him a
don't
little.
have an update on Justin either. I know he got banged up. I just think it's a tribute to our backs. I mean, the guys that have stepped up, Avery stepped up, and Dupree stepped up today, and so it's good to have depth. I mean, we didn't have this a year ago, so that's an improvement.
What does it tell you about a kid like Jalen, these are his first career college carries? Week 6, he's ready to go and ready to contribute.
A kid's a player, he's a competitor, and he came here to play. And I tell all these freshmen, guys, we brought you here to play. We didn't bring you here to sit on the bench. And so he's prepared himself. He stayed ready. I go shake everybody's hand before the game, and he's always studying. He's always studying his plays, and I take notice of that. And so he's got a bright future. He's going to be a really good back for us.
Hey, Coach, you touched.
Plan to utilize the freshman Dupree more?
Pardon me?
How does the team plan to utilize the freshman Dupree more?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to continue to use him. He did a good job today. We're going to use him on special teams, and he's proven that he's ready to play when he gets his opportunity.
Coach, you touched on this briefly, but near the end of the first half, Torrey gets hurt on one play. The very next play is the fumble play. And you said it took the wind out of your sails. Did you address that much at halftime and say, guys, let's just go back to what we're doing, or can you share with us?
Absolutely addressed it. I actually addressed it before the game, that, we challenged our guys. We play a sport of adversity and momentum, and I challenged them, what does it take to break you as a player? Is it one bad play? Is it a fumble? Is it somebody throwing a touchdown on you? I mean, we play a series of plays in a game, and you have to be able to come back when negative things happen. And the only thing that matters is the play that you're doing at that time. And so we tried to get our guys recentered and refocused, and it was important. And I thought we responded well. When we came back in the third quarter, our defense stopped them, and we went on some long drives offensively. And I don't know what the time of possession was, but we had a couple long drives. I know the one we went ahead, I think, was 90-something yards, 91 yards. So that's a real credit to a lot of people executing, and so I'll give our guys some credit for that. Thanks, guys.
What does it tell you about your defense? I mean, you didn't have any sacks. You got the turnover late. Yet you held that offense to just 17 points.
Yeah, I mean, we were fighting out there today. Everyone was just playing together, playing fundamental football, and we didn't give up any big run game or pass game stuff. for the most part. And Coach Banks had a great game plan. If you've seen how explosive that offense was, that's not something that you can sleep well at night knowing that you got to go against that. They got a couple good quarterbacks. Nick Nash in the slot's pretty good, but Dom Morris and Aiden Hector were just better tonight. And we all talked about playing under one team, one spirit, playing under God, and I think that's exactly what we did tonight.
Boom, Coach kind of addressed it though, but there were things that could have turned a game in a different way for you, but you guys fought through it. Showed a lot more resiliency maybe today than you have in the past. What was that like? What was the mood like for the team, I guess, all week leading to that kind of performance?
Well, we just knew like offense and defense were together the whole game. We talked about it. Coach, before the game, Coach was like, after last week, he said, we're going to be in this situation again, and the defense has to close it. And offense and defense were together. They're talking on the sideline, saying we got their back, they got our back. I think that's really what's really changed. And we shut it out.
What was the message at halftime? Because you guys kind of dominate that first half. Then you have the big momentum swing with the scoop and score. Just what was the message within the locker room there?
Yeah, leaders were leading. It was awesome to see Brayden. Brayden was very vocal in the locker room and going around, and he really stepped up tonight in leadership. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been challenging him with that, and he came up big. All night, going across the sidelines, getting the team ready, getting them going, and just saying we got you guys. That's on us, and we're gonna go get it back. So, everyone just fell into line. Leaders led, and that's what happens. That's what happens when everyone does their job.
Boom, as a linebacker, what is it like preparing for a team like San Jose State who utilizes two quarterbacks? And you kind of have the different cadences and tendencies and stuff like that. What's that like?
Well, like we knew going into the game that 5 could potentially play. So we kind of prepared for that. We watched the film. They have different cadences. We said, hey, this is how 9s look. This is how 5s look. They're pretty similar players. So it wasn't anything like super crazy to change. But, just watching the film, making sure we're prepared for both of them. They're going to run the same stuff with both quarterbacks. But just basically, they're pretty similar in just knowing, hey, this quarterback likes to do this and this quarterback likes to do that. So,
Jeff, what'd you like most about your team's response to the tough loss last week?
Yeah, no one hung their head. We see everything negative that everyone writes about us, right? And that just puts a chip on our shoulder. This team's fired up, and we're tired of everything. Hate on the inside, hate on the outside, it don't matter. This team is well knit, and no one's gonna break this team. And I think you can see that. We messed up last week. We made some mistakes, and we want that game back bad. But it doesn't matter. We're 1-0 in conference play, and we're moving on. We're getting better every week. You can't deny that. This team's getting better every single week, and that's our only goal is just keep getting better, keep winning football games.
Is this the most complete performance you guys have had these last couple of years from a complimentary standpoint?
Yeah, we played really good complimentary football today. In the past, I wouldn't say that we didn't. Sometimes we struggled a little more on offense or defense, but tonight, it just kind of went our way, and all glory to God for that. So,
Jack, what did you guys, either one of you, what did you feel was a key on third downs? You limited them to 4 of 12.
Oh, well, I just felt like we had to be really good in coverage. And like Jack said, Dom Morris and Dom Jones, a lot of people on the back end. Like you said, we didn't get very many sacks, but that's a testament to, our DBs and our linebackers, playing really good in coverage and, making the quarterback change his eyes, making them put it in bad spots. And, I think that's what the key was, because if you watch the tape, that's kind of how it was. Our DBs and our linebackers playing really good in space.
Is it easier to preach toughness and get people to buy into that when you've got guys like Torrey Horton and Avery kind of buying in?
Yeah, you see a star player out there and going down with a knee injury, a guy that's projected really high in the NFL draft. Most players like that aren't coming back in the game, and he's fighting. He gave everything he had. I went up to him and I said, "I'm praying for you, bro. You got this. Like I'm behind you with whatever." And he's like, "Lock in, get back in the game." I'm like, "All right, like I got you." So to be able to have toughness like that, that's what you want from the team. But toughness isn't built in those games. It's built all off season. It's built on the long practices in the film room and doing things that you don't want to do, and then it shows in those games. And I'm really proud of this team.
How big of an asset are guys like Jordan Noyes and Patty Turner?
Man, on and off the field, obviously, hitting that field goal was huge tonight. But in the locker room too, those are really good guys, and I don't think anyone knows how much Patty does for this school and for this team. He doesn't get enough credit for that. So, for him to kind of get the spotlight, I think it needs to happen a little bit more. And Jordan Noyes he's the man, bro. He's got 3 kids, and I can't say enough good things about him. I love that guy.
When he trots out for a 55 or 58 yarder, you guys pretty confident?
Yeah, man. That 60-yarder, he had made it that first one, and then we had bobbled the snap a little bit on the second one. But we were gonna punt it, and they've been punting alert, and we're going out there and we go, nah, Jordan can make this. Like, send in the field goal unit. And so that's what everyone was saying. And sure enough, he went out there, and I think if we would have bobbled it, he would have got that. And he proved that with that 50-yarder.
So are you more surprised that Jay listened to you guys and let him kick it than he was going to send out the punt team?
No, man. Coach Norvell, he's a humble enough guy to be able to listen to his team. Sometimes you can get different aspects that you might not see out there, and so he trusts us and we trust him, and so with him doing that, it turned out right. And that's not to say that we know more than him or anything like that, but if he was confident in us and saying that he could make it, then I think that put confidence in him to call that.
For either of you guys, 7-point win, but you guys kind of dominate and win on all 3 units. Does it maybe feel like it's more than just a touchdown win today?
Yeah, for sure. We know on offense and defense that there's certain things we need to clean up, and we're going to be better next weekend. There's, we can limit some things on offense. On defense. Limit some things on offense. We're going to get it done. We're going to improve for next weekend.
Thanks, guys.
So Brayden, do you feel like you're completing 16 consecutive passes when you're actually completing 16 consecutive passes?
I think we can feel the rhythm as an offense all around. I'm not counting, that's for sure. It's a one play at a time mentality, but overall, looking back on it, you can kind of feel when the tide starts to swing and you're getting in a rhythm. So I did feel that definitely at a point today.
Did you feel better today in that regard, and did it have anything to do with the fact that it seemed like you were a little bit more balanced from the start of the game, run pass, than maybe you have been the first 5 weeks?
Absolutely. I think we got in a rhythm early, and we were able to take some shots and get some completions early, and that was very beneficial for me and the receivers as well. And so it was awesome to be able to stay balanced throughout the game and run an even attack. And obviously we, as an offense, really understood where we had to attack on the defense today, and we did a great job of it.
Brayden, you go out on that kind of 4th and 17 and you punt it. Is that like the first time that you've punted? Have you practiced that before?
I punted a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm 2 for 2 inside the 20. Probably, yeah, I can say that. I have to donate $20 to Patty's fund. I will be doing that. But yeah, that was the second time. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's nerve-wracking every time. It's really weird using your feet, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Does it give you more of an appreciation for like the art form?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, mine's a kick and a prayer. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I hope it goes straight, and I hope it gets down there. Like, I don't know, just let's do it. And yeah, it really gives me a true appreciation for Patty and what he does.
Armani, can you talk about how did that, through your eyes, how did that touchdown play open up for you?
So, first of all, I saw the backers blitz, so I knew that the shallow route was going to be. I knew I was expecting to get the ball, but once I saw the green grass in front of me, my legs just started running faster than they ever ran before, and so that's really just what happened. It happened really fast, though.
The Rams have scored over 30 points in 2 straight games now. What do you think has worked well to achieve that?
Communication and efficiency. The 2 biggest things. We've done a great job communicating in both games. Last week was a huge challenge communication-wise because it was a really loud environment. So coming home, being able to hear on offense was pretty nice. And so the communication was very effective today. We significantly limited the penalties involving the play clock and stuff like that, which was huge as a big deal last week, definitely contributed to what happened. And then this week, the efficiency aspect of it was clear. I mean, like you said, the 16 in a row, that all goes out to them. They were the ones getting open. I'm just doing my job. I'm just throwing the ball. And so when they're able to get open that many times in a row and we can be efficient like that and then run the ball like we did, Coach said it in the locker room, he had 4 running backs total up to an average of over 5 yards a carry. And like, that's unheard of. That's incredible. Like, speaking to the depth of our running back room, and then obviously with Torrey going down, our receiver room depth, it's huge to have so many guys that I can trust on the field around me, and that it just speaks volumes to the guys that I have.
Armani, where's your confidence gone from, say, like 4 or 5 weeks ago to where you are right now?
So it's been a roller coaster. It's been ups and downs. But I think, me personally, today I needed today moving forward on with Mountain West play. So I'm just hoping that it carries on to Air Force and et cetera, et cetera.
What have guys like Brayden and other teammates done to kind of keep your spirits up when things went low at certain times?
Man, they just keep telling me keep going and that they believe in me. Brayden told me plenty of times he's not going to stop throwing the ball in me, no matter. He told me that today.
Yeah.
And it's just the people around me. They see what I can do in practice. They see what I've done in practice, and as today it like correlated to the field. So I proved everybody right.
Did you take it as a bit of a kind of personal challenge when Torrey went down to kind of step up and keep the offense moving?
Definitely, because obviously Torrey's a major piece of our offense, and once he went down, you could tell the coaches started looking around, hoping someone makes a play. And I think once I made my first play, I knew I was going to be the one who was going to step up.
Brayden, in a day like today where you go out, you're dominant, have only that one mistake at the end, does this kind of feel like maybe almost a palate cleanser game where you kind of, Jay Norvell talked about that fresh start? Does this one kind of feel like that?
100%. I mean, I think as a team, that's what we looked at it as. We forgot about our record. We had 5 games up to now conference starts. This is the most important part of our season. Everybody knows that, this 7-game stretch. And so as a team, we did a great job of that, clearing our minds this week, forget about the past, let's focus on this week and this week only. And today that showed. And so, yeah, for me personally, 100%, I feel like I had the best communication that I've had all season with the receivers, my O-line, my running backs. Just everything felt like it went a lot smoother than it had before. And so it speaks volumes to what we were doing in practice, and the coach is keeping us on top of it, and our level of preparation definitely went up this week, so hopefully that continues.
A question for both you guys. What did you like about the game plan itself today? You did a lot of different things, a lot of mixing and matching. Anything you like particular about what you went in with this game plan with?
The balance, I think, yeah, we did a great job attacking both areas. We attacked through the air and we attacked on the ground, and our coaches had a great game plan going into it. They really understood what we were going to see today, and they did a really good job preparing us for what we were going to see. And so when we got the looks that we wanted, we were able to take those shots and get those explosive plays, whether it was run game or pass game. And like I said, it's a huge game to build off of, because we saw our potential, not our full potential, but the potential we have moving forward. And so hopefully that translates.
On those play action boots, was there a little bit of mindset for you of like, I guess, if it's not there right away, just go. Get that.
Absolutely. I mean, I have a progression on every play, so I have to go through that progression. And so I go through my progression where it's 2 or 3 receivers on those boot routes, and if 1, 2, or 3 are covered, 4 is my legs. And so we've done that's been a huge emphasis, because a big problem last year was when I got outside of the numbers and kind of made those scramble throws, or even early in the season. And so the maturity of understanding, I can run, I have the ability to run, I have decent speed, use it. Like, stop being the young kid trying to make everything happen, and use your speed. Do what's best for the team, not what's best for yourself. And so understanding when I get out of the pocket that, yeah, once I get close enough to the sideline, we're going. It's me and my legs, and we got to make something happen.
How about Torres blocking like 20 yards downfield?
Stud. Yeah, I mean, him, and then also shout out Dane Olson on his. Dane blocked the dude for like 10 seconds, 30 yards down the field. Just phenomenal. I mean, I know he's more than grateful for that. And then Torrey on mine, same type of deal. Just guys putting in the extra effort that it takes to win big games.
What was it on the spacing of those bootlegs and everything? The receivers getting open. It just seemed like when you would roll out, you had a lot of options. There was a lot of space for you guys.
I think it speaks volumes to the balance of our offense. Like, everyone sees me roll out and they're like, how is he out there alone? Like, that doesn't make sense. Well, when we're rushing the ball for 5 yards of carry, a defense has to make a decision. It's 11 on 11, and if you give us even numbers, we've proved that we can do pretty well against it. And so if you're going to overload one side or run an overload to a specific side, we can boot away from it and then find open receivers, and it's a dangerous part of our offense recently, and I think we need to keep building off of that.
How much more comfortable are you under center right now? And are you starting to feel kind of some of the benefits of that, of the versatility it offers you, like the bootlegs and everything that comes off of this run game?
100%, yeah. I mean, the reps get me more comfortable with it. I haven't done it in a really long time, been under center, and so getting the reps in game and being able to see things because you're a lot closer, it looks a lot more kind of jumbled than when you're back 5 more yards. So being able to see those things and get the team into the right checks has been vital, and 100% to answer your question.
How hard was that to transition to it, especially because that wasn't necessarily the offense that you guys ran all spring, all summer, or anything like that?
It was tough. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, it was a hard transition because throughout my whole football career, I've never really been under center much. So seeing that is a whole new aspect of football to me, honestly. And so it's been awesome, and I'm really glad that I have gotten to do it. And yeah, I feel like we're doing a pretty good job at it.
For either one of you, what does it tell you about a kid like Jalen Dupree, who's been on the bench for 5 weeks and then all of a sudden gets called upon and performed the way he did?
I actually told him during fall camp, he was running the ball exactly how he ran today. I told him, I don't know when, but sometime during the season, your number's going to get called, and take advantage of the opportunity, and that's exactly what he did today.
How hard is that, though? I mean, you guys have you had to bide your time to play. How hard is that to be prepared to go just all of a sudden out of the blue?
It's tough. Yeah, it's no joke. I mean, you go from standing on the sideline one play to the next play, you hear your number called, and it's almost like this is the time.
Right.
And so understanding how to be prepared for that is really hard when you've never done it before. And so it speaks volumes to our coach's level of preparation and getting everybody in the room involved during the week and prepared so that when their number is called, just like Jalen today, he's able to go out there and be effective like he was.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.